Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have all new Dollar Tree Halloween DIYs for you. This one is the best yet. I cannot wait to share these DIYs with you. A lot of them are super quick and easy to even do last minute. But before we get started, if you are new here, I would love for you to join us by subscribing down below and make sure to turn on that notification bell. This first DIY is only going to take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to start off with this wood skeleton from the Dollar Tree. I think he is definitely one of their better items for just $1. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint him with my white chalk paint. So this is my favorite chalk paint. I use this one all the time. I'll leave it linked down below for you guys. It lasts forever. So after one coat of that white chalk paint, I just let him dry completely. And then I decided to go over it with some dark brown paint. So I just dipped in a really small paintbrush. I brushed most of it off and I just went over the areas very lightly just to kind of give him a little bit more of a vintage look. Give him some spookiness, so he kind of looks like he was walking through a graveyard. But for $1, I think that this DIY is just really cute. This next DIY is my favorite of the entire video, so I'm starting off with these two wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree. We have Frankenstein and his bride. So I'm just going to be taking out the twine on top and filling in those holes with some lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to let that dry and get started on my sign portion. So for that, I'm going to be using 3 of the Hello Autumn signs from Dollar Tree. They're just made of particle board, and I just have to prep them first. So I just removed that twine, I just pulled it out, and now I'm removing the staples with a screwdriver. So once I did that to all 3, I hot glued them to one of the foam boards from Dollar Tree. This is just going to give it a really sturdy backing. So I just put a whole bunch of hot glue on there and glued all 3 on top of each other. I started with my first board lined up in the bottom left hand corner and just worked up from there. So the foam board is going to be a little bit too large. So to solve this problem, I just took a knife and just cut off that extra foam board. Now using that same white chalk paint that I used earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and paint my entire board in one coat of this. While this is drying, I'm going to start painting my monsters. So after that lightweight spackling was totally dry on top, I just sanded it down smooth. And now I'm just going to go ahead and paint the bride's hair. So I'm using chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree for this. And I just kind of tried to make it look a little bit more finished around the face there. And for Frankenstein, I used that same black chalk paint from Dollar Tree, but his I left a little bit more rugged looking around the hairline. And for the bride, I just painted her in a grayish tint, and then for Frankenstein, a light green. For Frankenstein's neck bolts, I really wanted to make them stand out, so to do this, I'm just going to use a metallic silver paint. To create a frame for my sign, I'm just going to be using these 5-gallon stir sticks. I picked these up at Walmart. I will leave them linked down below. They are very inexpensive. So 3 come in one pack, and I ended up using 5 in total. So to paint them, I'm just going to be using this home decor wax paint. It acts like a stain, but I find that it is much easier to use than a stain, so I like to use this whenever I can. So I just poured some out onto a paper towel and just kind of buffed it all over the wood and let it dry completely. So after that, I just cut everything to size and just glued them around my board to create a frame. And now to finish our sign, I'm going to be using some of these tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using 4 in total, 2 on each wood cutout, and this is going to elevate our monsters off of the board. So in addition to giving them a really cool 3D effect, we are now going to be able to add lights behind the monsters to really make this sign pop. I hot glued my blocks towards the center of the wood cutouts, so this way they were kind of hidden, but also it was just a good area to string the lights around. So once they were hot glued to my wood sign, I just put some more hot glue on the blocks and glued them into place. And now to make it light up, I'm going to be using 2 of the silver wired LED lights from Dollar Tree. So you can find these in their floral department. And to attach them to the back of my sign, I'm just going to be putting some of these Velcro command strips on them. You could hot glue them to the back, but by using the command strips, it just makes it easier to remove if you want to remove the lights or switch them out. So once they were just stuck to the back, I just ran the line right up the bottom of the sign and I just strung my lights around those wood blocks. Metal wire really makes it easy to manipulate these lights around those wood blocks. And once I got to the end, I just tucked in that last piece there, and that was it. How cool is this light up sign? I mean, I love it. I hope you guys love it too. I'm a really big fan of monsters, so this one of course is my favorite. So for this next DIY, we are going to be turning these plates into jack-o'-lanterns. So I picked up this large and this small plate at Dollar Tree, and I thought they just had such a beautiful color to them. And to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns, I'm going to be using these printables. So these printables will be available for you guys for free, and you can find them on my blog. I'll leave the link down below for you guys, but I did not print them out on paper. Instead, I printed them out on this Waterslide decal paper. So I used this before in a previous video. Hiipoo had sent these to me to try out, and I loved them so much. I thought that they would work perfectly for this craft. So there's a super detailed video. I will leave that link down below also on how I use these, but basically you just have to print them out in any inkjet printer, and then you just have to coat them in some clear spray paint, and this basically seals in the color. So after I printed them out on my computer, I just spray painted them in 3 coats of that clear spray paint, and they were ready to use. This is such a good option if, like me, you do not have a cutting machine and you still want to add some really fun decals for some of your crafts. So once you cut them all out, you just want to leave a small little border around the ink portion, and then you can just put them into some water. So I just have a bowl here of tap water, and I put all of my cutouts in there. And after about 10 to 30 seconds, they are ready to use. So you do want to make sure to wet the surface you are working on. So right after I put my decals into the water to get them ready for transfer, I just took a paper towel, dipped it into that same water, and just wet the plate. And this will help the decal be able to move around a lot more freely. So if you don't wet it, it's just going to get stuck to it and you will not be able to kind of just move it around. So you can have it exactly how you like, and it could rip. So you just want to make sure your surface is a little bit wet and damp, and that way everything can just move around freely. So you'll see here, I decided to move my eyes a little bit and the mouth until I had it just perfect. And then when you have it where you want it, you just want to take a dry paper towel and just clean off that extra water. You can put it right on top of the decal very carefully too, and just squeeze out any remaining water. And then you just want to let it dry completely. So here is my plate all done. I'm just going to let him dry while I get started on my little plate. This one I wanted to make a little girl, so she has some very pretty eyelashes, and it's just that same process. So you just want to put your decals into the water, let them sit for a few seconds until they're ready to use. Take a paper towel and just dip it into that water and make sure you wet your surface. These water slides are so much fun to use. I really do love these, and Hiipoo gave me a coupon code to share with you guys, so that will be linked down below. You can just order these Hiipoo water slide transfers from Amazon, and they're pretty inexpensive already, but the coupon definitely helps to save some money if you want to try these out. And here they are all done, and those little gold plate stands I actually picked up at the Dollar Tree as well, and those are perfect for displaying your jack-o'-lanterns. I was so excited when I found this little mini haunted house at Dollar Tree. It's already self-standing. It has its own base, which is just great. So to create the haunted house look, I'm just going to be painting the entire thing in the black chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree. So I just went ahead and did the entire front as well as the back and the base portion. This DIY was actually inspired by a previous DIY that I did. So in one of my last videos, I created this Dollar Tree light up haunted house, and you guys really loved it. So I thought it would be fun to make a mini version of it. So to achieve that same look as the first one, I'm going to go ahead and glue some of the Dollar Tree mini hay bales as well as the mini plush pumpkins onto the front portion of the house. But to change up the look just a little bit, I thought it would be fun to add some of these stickers from the Dollar Tree. So I just put a ghost, a bat and a moon, and a spooky skull. So I thought it would just change it up a little bit, but still kind of remind me of the other DIY. And I think that this one turned out so cute. Next, we are making a $1 Dollar Tree pillow. So I'm going to be using this hand towel from the Dollar Tree. As soon as I saw it, I just really loved the print of it. I thought the haunted house on it was really cool. It has a ghost in the window, so spooky, graveyard around it. I just thought it was really fun, and I wanted to transform it into something other than just a towel. So I just went ahead and trimmed off that border, and now I'm just cutting it in half. So I didn't do the best job of cutting, as you can see here, but since I knew I was going to be hiding those edges, I wasn't too worried about it. And to make this a really simple DIY, we are just going to be hot gluing it today. So I'm just going to use my Gorilla Hot Glue. I'll leave those linked down below. I love those glue sticks. And I'm just going to go around the edges here. And since we are going to be flipping this right side out at the end, I'm gluing it with the two images facing each other. So I just left a small portion there open at the bottom, and now I'm just going to be turning it right side out and filling it. So to stuff it today, I'm just going to be using some Poly-Fil. You can even use some stuffing from an old pillow or anything you have laying around. So now to close it up, I'm just going to hot glue it, and that is it. Really simple, but I think the print is just so adorable, and this looks really, really cute on a little entryway bench or even on a sofa. This next DIY is another super quick one. So I'm starting off with these two ceramic owls from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be spray painting them in this metallic finish gold spray paint. So I used this previously in another Dollar Tree DIY video, and I loved it. The finish was just so pretty. So here they are all spray painted. I think that these would be really fun as bookends, and they are perfect for the entire fall season. Next, I'm going to be creating a self-standing farm truck. So I'm going to be using these two wood cutout farm trucks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to prep them by removing that twine. And I'm going to fill in those holes with the lightweight spackle from Dollar Tree. So you can just grab a little bit, fill in those holes, wait for it to dry completely, and then sand it down nice and smooth. I'm also going to be using this little wood box from the Crafter Square section of the Dollar Tree. So this was another DIY that was inspired by a previous DIY. So you guys really loved this fall farm truck I did. So I wanted to do a Halloween version of it. So I started off by painting everything in a burnt orange color. And now I'm just going to go ahead and use that same black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree to paint the wheels. Also painted the little wood crate on the back with that same black chalk paint, and then I painted the pumpkins a nice light orange color. Now to just make this a bit more personalized, I'm going to be using another Hiipoo water slide. So you can print this out for free on my blog too if you wanted to recreate this craft. It just says Haunted Farms Hay Rides. I thought that was really fun. And I just prepped my water slide just like before, so I printed it out in my computer, and then I just spray painted it with some clear spray paint to seal in the color. And now while it is waiting in the water, I'm just going to wet my farm truck just a little bit and slide off my decal and put it into place. Once I had my decal exactly where I wanted it, I just took a dry paper towel and just carefully tapped off any of the extra water that was on there. Now all that's left is to assemble our truck. So to do this, I'm just taking some hot glue and just putting it along the side of my back portion of the truck. I'm going to be pushing that box right into it, and basically we want to sandwich that box in between the two trucks. That way it can be completely self-standing and you can fill the center of it with whatever you like. I just filled mine up with some pumpkins, but I think it would be so fun to put a skeleton in the back, especially since this is a Haunted Farms hayride truck. You know I had to do a Hocus Pocus DIY, so I'm going to be starting off with this Dollar Tree dish towel. I thought the print on it was so beautiful. I love those fall leaves. And I'm actually going to be using some of the Hiipoo transfer paper. So these are going to be iron-on decals. So they're really simple to use. They work in any inkjet printer. So I'm just going to go ahead and print out my image on the paper. So here it is. I'm going to be adding this just a bunch of Hocus Pocus sign as well as a cauldron to my dish towel. So you can just print this out on your computer. These will be available below as a free printable if you guys want to try this out as well. It is just on my blog, but I'll leave the link for the blog post in the description box of this video. So for these, it's a little bit different than the water transfers. You do not want to leave a border, because if you leave a border, you will see it on the final product. So you just want to cut out your image exactly. And I did just want to mention that when you print this out from your computer, you do want to let it dry completely. So give it about 30 minutes or so. So in that pack, you will also have 2 pieces of wax paper. So we will be needing that to protect our decals. So to get them ready to iron on, you just want to remove that backing. So there's just a white paper with some blue lines on the back there. You can just peel it off, and these transfers are not sticky at all. So even though you peeled off that backing, you can reposition it as many times as you like until you have it exactly where you want it. So then after you have it exactly where you want to iron it on, you're just going to cover it with that wax paper, and you're just going to set your iron to the cotton setting, and you want to make sure that you have a hard surface underneath. So I just have a cutting board here just to make sure it was nice and sturdy, and then once it was ironed on, I just peeled off that wax paper and I was left with my decorative dish towel. So I think that this one turned out so nice. I love how you can see the leaves peeking out through the white portion of the Just a Bunch of Hocus Pocus sign on top. I think it is just so autumnal and spooky. So this one is just for decor use only, but I think it looks so fun placed into this cauldron. This DIY is another super quick one. So I just got some of these signs from the Dollar Tree. It's this pumpkin stack sign. I thought it was so pretty, but I wanted to make it self-standing. So you can definitely skip this portion here. I do not think it's a big deal if you leave that hole in the top there, but I just wanted to fill it in. So like before, I just put some of that lightweight spackling, and then once it was dry, I just took some of that black chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree and just carefully tried to cover up any of the white spackling. So the hat does have a glitter effect to it, so I did want to be careful and not cover up too much of that, and I did not want to cover up any of the orange polka dots. So I have two here because I thought it'd be fun to have two of them set out on my table, and now I'm just going to be using some of the wood tumbling tower blocks to make them self-standing. So I ended up just needing 2 for each one, so 4 in total, and to attach it I just used some hot glue and just propped it up on a little bit of a diagonal and just hot glued them to the back. And that was pretty much it. This is another super simple craft, but this would be so cute kind of displayed on a table for a Halloween party or just for any seasonal decor. And those are all of the new Halloween Dollar Tree DIYs that I have for you guys today. This was definitely my favorite video I have ever done. It is probably, I would say, the most DIYs I have ever done in one video. So this is kind of like a mega Halloween DIY video, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave me a comment down below on which one was your favorite. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do so by just clicking my picture right here. And be sure to check out this video for some more crafting fun.